When I started painting trains, there was a station up north that they would kind of, there was this urban legend of sort, like, oh, if this car is here, or this light is on in this building, like that's the vandal squad office or things like that. I always told people that it's easy as fuck to get arrested in Chicago, but it's super hard to catch a case.
Do you know what this is?
They're not sitting there building this thing about AMUSE. But if they can catch me, whether they know who it is or not, I mean, I've watched cops take guns out of friends' pockets, put them on the hood, not give a shit. It's just part of it, like keys. Pull a silver paint marker out of one of our pockets and lose their shit. Like, oh, I told you we catch a tagger tonight. Like, all right. Like, property is worth more than people, especially in that city. I was arrested probably 6-7 times before my parents ever found out about my first arrest. And I would just go through it and I wouldn't come home and I would just, holding cells, and we would just bond out and deal with it. As kids, there wasn't too much repercussion. I was never doing anything that was like that insane, but graffiti to them was that insane. So, a fill-in is the same as a whole side of a Blockbuster building or something, so we were constantly in trouble. I never saw crazy like repercussion from it, but I was a career criminal of sort. End of 2010, I got caught painting trains with some guys in Chicago, and so I was by the balls in court for that. And then 2 months later, I caught a drug charge that fucking sucked, and I spent so much time fighting that, and I was in so much legal trouble. Like, I violated the subway charge, so that judge then ordered like 0 graffiti. I can't be in possession of spray paint. Like, I can't fuck around. When my drug judge found out that I was already dealing with shit, she knew I was a problem, and they had then pulled my records and saw like how much I flew and traveled and like was constantly moving around. So they like locked me to Cook County. I was like not able to leave the state, or not able to leave the county at first, almost a full year before they let me just stay in the state. My sister went downstate to school, so I used that to be like, yo, you're not letting me see family at this point. I need to be able to like travel in the state. And I got myself a couple permission walls. I knew that I couldn't get in any fucking trouble, and I knew the permission wall was probably safe enough to still be able to use spray paint. And, so I still gambled with that because legally, or, in the courtroom, I was not supposed to be anywhere near this shit. And I painted over myself, daily, every day, every weekend, over and over and over, because I was stir crazy. I was bombing so hard at the time and just completely stepped on the brakes. I was pushing trains. I was traveling. I was on it. And my world, everything that was 100 miles an hour at the time was out the window. And so I had to it's like, man, I'm gonna fucking burn all you guys. Like this, I'm just gonna get dope at this and pass time. I thought it would be a year, couple years that I was dealing with. I went 7 years through that period of like not really being able to like be in any type of trouble. So I was very cautious. I started traveling again through it and like still being a deviant, but just really started to pick and choose what was worth, before it was like anything goes. Let's, who cares? Let's punch this car window. As once that happened, like it was every step had to be thought about.